Hello everyone. Today we will go through risk factors for coronary artery disease. The risk factors for coronary artery disease were formally established in the early 1960s by the findings of Framingham Heart Study. The understanding of such factors is critical to prevent the cardiovascular morbidities and mortality. These risk factors are divided into two major groups: non-modifiable and modifiable. The non-modifiable risk factors are those factors that you cannot change, and the modifiable risk factors are those that we can change to reduce the risk of coronary artery disease. So first, let's go through non-modifiable risk factors. The first one is age. In men who are more than 45 years old and in women who are more than 55 years old, they are at increased risk of coronary artery disease. Now, if you remember from the previous lecture that coronary artery disease is actually caused by plaque formation, right? And this plaque formation in the vessels is a chronic process. So by the time you are 45 or 55, the plaque has already formed, and at that time you are at increased risk of angina or MI. Also, if you see that men here are at increased risk of coronary artery disease than women, there is a 10 years difference between the age. We don't know the exact cause of this, but there are studies that show that men have a bad cholesterol profile as compared to women. Also, the estrogen in women protects them from coronary artery disease. Next is family history. Genetics play an important role in heart health. If your parents or grandparents had coronary artery disease, then you are also at higher risk of heart disease. The third one is ethnicity. In terms of ethnicity, people from African descent are at increased risk of high blood pressure. Therefore, they're at higher risk of coronary artery disease. Also, some South Asians, they have independent risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Now let's talk about the modifiable risk factors. So in modifiable risk factors, first one is high cholesterol levels. So if you have high cholesterol in your blood, especially the LDL, which is known as the bad cholesterol, that LDL will start depositing in the blood vessels over time, and they will block the vessels, causing coronary artery disease. Similarly, when someone has high blood pressure, the blood is passing through the vessel with a very strong shear force. So this will damage the blood vessel, that force. So the damaged area then attracts the cholesterol and inflammatory markers, leading to formation of the plaque. Third is diabetes mellitus. So the high blood glucose levels, they also make the blood vessels stiff over time and thus damage them, and again the plaque is formed at that damaged area, which can later block the vessel, causing coronary artery disease. Then we have cigarette smoking. The toxins that are present in cigarette smoke, like carbon monoxide and nicotine in the tobacco smoke, they also damage your vessels and lead the plaque formation, causing narrowing of the arteries and leading to heart attack. There are studies which show that quitting cigarette smoke is the single most important preventive measure of coronary artery disease. Then we have physical inactivity and obesity, which I believe is the core of the whole problem. Because if you're physically inactive, then it will make you obese. And if you're obese, then obesity itself is a risk factor for diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol levels, which further cause coronary artery disease, as we just mentioned before. So here I want to stress that exercise daily, be physically active, because it will improve your glucose control, it will decrease the fats and decrease the blood pressure, and therefore it will improve your heart health. So these were the major modifiable and non-modifiable risk factors for coronary artery disease. We have some other risk factors like high levels of C-reactive protein, homocysteine, lipoprotein, and fibrinogen in blood. Also some diseases like end-stage renal disease, connective tissue diseases like SLE or rheumatoid arthritis, HIV, and xanthelasma meta, which are raised yellow patches around the eyelids, are associated with coronary artery disease. Some studies show that low serum testosterone levels in males and hysterectomy becomes a risk factor later in life in women who have the surgery at or before the age of 50 years. That's it for today. If you liked the video, then don't forget to share it with your friends, and keep following Dr. Zainab Mohsin for more educational stuff. Take care. God bless you all.